This was a very important match for me. What will it take for me to finally stand up to Z? It's time for another match versus the lean, mean, pushing machine, Z. If you've been here before, then you know that our matchup is a story of David and Goliath. And, my friends, I am not Goliath in this story. I'm the player here on the near court, and I'm starting off well here, but I prefer to start on return against him, and we'll see if this form continues. Spoilers, in the first set, it won't. This first set is perfectly indicative of my usual story against Z. Nice redrop there. It's a sad story for me, but...
Sorry! Neither of those were intentional.
This first set is a perfect setup to contextualize what goes down in the second set. I really hope you enjoy this video, and let's watch Z do his thing. I'm going to be doing a ton of voiceover commentary again through the video, and I am again going to be getting very dramatic, so let me know how you've been feeling about that in these recent videos. It's been sort of a very transparent style that's been naturally developing as I've been editing, but if you'd at least prefer versions of these videos that have no commentary, feel free to let me know if you'd like those posted in the future. I'm starting off the day by missing a few breakpoint chances. It happens. He was just getting settled in and he managed to save a few breakpoints. That's well done. And now it's my turn to serve. I can make a few serves sometimes. And volleys. And look at that, it's love 40 already. Tennis is like that, where you double fault twice and miss one other shot, and boom, 3 breakpoints, and that backhand barely misses. That's a pretty standard service game for me. Since this match, I've been doing a ton of work on serve with a coach, and a ton of work in general with the coach. But Z also just perfectly draws out the worst in my game. And right there, I had love 30 on his serve to bounce back, and then just missed a backhand down the line, and then framed 3 shots after that. You hate to see it. Thank you for being here to see it. I appreciate your support. This video does eventually have a ton of huge moments for me, and even tension. So if you choose to stick around, I hope all of this sufficiently rewards your spectatorship. And if you'll excuse me, I'm about to start getting very navel-gazy again.
I think that was out.
It's really tough to have motivation when my game just is like this a lot of times, where I just can't put a ball in play. And I'm sure a lot of you know that the peanut gallery out there on tennis YouTube, and out there in general, aren't too lenient on anything but perfection. At this time in the summer last year, during this match, I was kind of in a bad place with tennis. Z is the person who's available to play with me, and he prefers match play, and so I know that every time I go out there, this is what's going to happen. And I just didn't really feel like there was much hope left, the way things were going.
Yeah, like you're...
And of course, all of that mental stuff compounds on everything else that is so incredibly difficult about winning and just makes it way harder. But deep down, I know I can do this, despite everything, and no matter how much it feels like he just owns me 100%. And oh my goodness, what a smart shot. I think he glimpsed me sneaking in, and then his amazing hands just guided the ball exactly where it needed to go. He's such a talented player. I know that so many of you think that he just looks awful out there, but what matters is what he can do with the tennis ball to help him win points. And when I can get to a 4-5 level, maybe I can start trouncing him. But check out that volley after I had finally built up a point to get to that position. Sure, 4-5s can make mistakes like that sometimes, but not ingrained to the point that they are with me. I'm not a 4-5 player. God knows how far I am away from being a 4-5 player. But, as you just saw, he's not infallible either. I didn't want to completely give up on there being something inside of me that could beat him, even before going on a massive training spree with a coach. Yay, backhand down the line winner. Every time I went out there with him, I still wanted to win. How could I win? And I wonder if that's what brings a lot of you back here. That narrative that permeates so much of tennis discourse out there. The beautiful, pure, varied offensive style of tennis that is so much fun to play and to watch versus the annoying, cheap, pushing style that just neutralizes all of that. And those players don't even have to have correct form. Maybe this dinky little tennis channel represents that hope that so many beaten down tennis players have, that my style of tennis maybe has a chance. But we've got to be honest with ourselves. Ian Westerman just released an awesome video about this on his channel, and I've talked about this before as well. Z knows how to win. That is a separate skill. Just like how your forehand and your backhand and your serve and your volleys and your drop shots are all individual skills you have to develop. Z is better at winning than I am. Way better. And that, my massive inconsistency aside, is the story behind the scoreline of that first set. The same story that has played out the entirety of the last 5 years. Multiple times a week, summer and winter, versus this player and so many others. But it's a new set, and now the score is even. I still feel like I'm already way behind, like I can't possibly have any chance. But I still want to win. Can I find a way?
Oh, that one didn't bounce.
By my standards at the time, that was absurd consistency in that point. Eventually, that won't be anything special. But there you go. I talk about how every time I prepare for a shot, it feels like a coin flip whether or not that shot is about to go in, and Z just makes me flip so many coins. So is it really just me versus an airtight gambling house, or can I find a way around it? Yeah, those were some timid volleys. That's what happens when you're so afraid of missing up there. But I tried something different and I won the point. Is that the seed of an idea beginning to sprout in my little mind? That is a wave of relief. Okay. Z does make me flip a lot of coins with my inconsistent technique if I let that happen. What if I don't? What if I come forward? What if I shorten the points? Make there be less coin flips? It can't be worse than what has already been happening, right? And in the past, that right there was where I would give up with this strategy, the moment I was beaten with it. But that's aggressive tennis. That's going to happen, especially against a player with natural hands and court sense like Z has. But for once, I'm gonna commit to something different, instead of running straight back to what's comfortable, and what has lost me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sets over and over for years, versus this player and others. It's still not going to be pretty. I have no idea, even if it goes well, if it's going to work. But at least for once, I'm not just resigned. Suddenly I'm squaring up the ball a bit more too. I have more energy.
A little out.
Time to stay the course. Less coin flips.
I should just start playing.
I held it love against Z. That does not happen.
That was out.
Just like that, his level has tanked. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows what I'm doing, and he hates it. Z doesn't just love long rallies because it favors him. He loves long rallies because he loves hitting the tennis ball. He values the challenge of pushing himself physically and strategizing whenever points are sprawling out into these long exchanges. I have to be okay with him not enjoying what I'm doing. And that's hard for me. As a human being, I want to please everyone. I want everyone around me to be as happy as possible. And normally, when I notice that Z isn't having fun, I can't allow myself to be okay with that. But today, I have to make him suffer. If he doesn't enjoy what I'm doing, good.
Yeah, good point.
But even then, I still have to actually do the job. That was smart of him to go to my backhand on his second serve.
You had to make that a forehand. Yeah. Yep.
Huge chance. I threw it away and he outlasted me. How am I going to respond to that? Just stay the course.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. He may be off balance for now, missing a lot more than usual, but that's not going to last forever. He's going to figure it out. But that's all the more reason to stay the course and test him until he finds his footing. But that's another thing. My serving consistency was looking great. Whenever I have the intent to move forward while I'm serving, it tends to improve my technique. But I still have no idea if any serve I hit is about to go in, let alone where it's going. Can my serving last long enough for this strategy to run its course?
Yep. Oh.
I have to be okay with him suffering. He's rattled, and right now he's so far below his usual level. I have to like that. And I'd better take advantage of it. This time, I got the break. I've been in this position before. I've only won maybe 6 or 7 sets against Z ever, but I've had the break in the middle of a set against him dozens of times, and then lost. This is where things get even trickier. Stay the course. That's just so uncharacteristic. I had no clue how to get around that ball as I was running back. Great lob.
Nice shot.
That has to hurt. But he's not exploding. He's keeping himself composed. Now, I have to stay the course and stay mentally engaged every point, because we know he's going to.
Nice point, man.
He's still making way more errors than usual, but I have to keep fighting just as hard as if he was playing at his very best.
Oh my God.
Don't dwell on all the missed chances. Just work for another one. I don't have any stability on those high backhand volleys. My coach has gotten me out of that reliance on that jumping open stance forehand. I know I'm a broken record by now, but he just does not spray like this. This is such an opportunity.
That's so good. Oh, man. Ah, first serve.
The breakpoint conversion rate is what it is. Just have to move on. Full credit to Z for scratching and digging out these holds.
Thank you. Oh, man.
That's nasty. Here we go. Suddenly, there's very little room for error on the set scoreboard. This is tennis, and it doesn't matter how poorly your opponent is playing if you can't even start the point. I had a really good run going, but maybe that's all it was. And maybe it's too much to hope for to keep it going long enough to win a set against Z at my skill level. But I can tell you, that is not what I was thinking at that moment. At that moment, I was gonna stay the course. I was still in the set, and I was gonna fight to win it. Because if I hadn't given up on myself enough to stop trying new things to get to this point in the set, I might as well not give up on this fight. Even if it hurts all that much more to be trying as hard as I can and still always come up short. It's pretty special to be in a position in life where you feel like you have so much to lose, and that's why I'm going to play to win. I have to stay aggressive. If I miss, or if he beats me, so be it.
That was perfect. Oh yeah, that bounced into me nice.
Now, I wasn't so sure. And now, if I really were playing against an airtight gambling house, I would be playing with house money. In my previous video against Anthony, I spoke about being greedy. About how my being out there on a tennis court attempting to play match situations with how incredibly faulty my entire game is only really asking for trouble. Against Z, it doesn't really feel as much like greed. At this point, after 5 years, hundreds and hundreds of sets, non-stop failure, no, it's desperation. Uh-oh. Here's a place we just were. I don't know why I stayed back that time, but my house money rewarded me, and I won enough coin flips to get myself to 6-5 against the person that I play tennis with 95% of the time, who beats me 99.5% of the time. Just to win one set is absolutely monumental for me, just in case that wasn't abundantly clear already. And even on days when I feel like I have zero chance against him, I always feel like I have a better chance of winning a game when it's on his serve. And right now, he's off, and he's missing a lot of first serves. I'm about to kick my mental game into overdrive. It's time to go for it.
Oh God, what?
That's embarrassing, but you gotta dust yourself off and try again. It's tennis.
Please get past the net. Yeah, too much space in my eyes too. No. Good serve. No!
I will say that usually I do feel terrible about those shots,
Sorry.
and I did feel pretty cheap. But yeah, you do feel good about winning the point. And now, I'm exactly where I want to be.
Yeah, that skidded way farther than I thought it would.
Just keep it coming. Every time I get to within 2 points of the win, I feel so powerful. But 1 point farther than that is different. Now I feel weak. This is just a recreational tennis match on a random public court with a friend, right? Why does this feel like life and death? The simple answer is it's natural to want to win. The personal answer involves everything that went into this match. Every single moment I've spent on court with this player before this. All of the different performance activities, not just tennis, that I've done where I have been so emphatically bad under pressure. Leaving me so starved for victory. And when you're starving, finally having nourishment one step away gets your body going haywire. We were once hunter-gatherers, and that adrenaline was just a natural part of our lives. This is what it's all about.
Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Oh.
By his standards, Z played a pretty terrible set. But he was very gracious in defeat, and he gave me full props. I played one of my better sets ever. Just barely. I was able to take advantage of how off balance he was, and finally get one. I knew I had to win that set. And sure enough, soon after that, he got used to my net rushes. I got my nourishment. One last aggressive return. One last shot where I stayed the course. That house money got me a real nice set win. And emotionally, that went a hell of a long way. For a long time. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to stay for another set, so we would have to decide the winner of that match another time. Thanks for letting me have one, Z. Thank you all so much for watching.